Hey church family, looking forward to being back together this Sunday. We make a start in John's Gospel. A lot of you should already have got a copy of Uncovered John, and that's your personal copy to be able to use as a resource during this series. We have multiple other copies for you to be able to give away to someone who you would like to read John's Gospel with who doesn't know Jesus yet. So really that's the goal of this series. In part is to help you see Jesus more clearly, but also in part to help you help someone else see Jesus more clearly who doesn't know him yet. So really want to encourage you to be bringing this along. If you happen to forget it on a week, please don't pick up another copy and so you end up with 5 copies of that in your shelves at home. Really, we'd encourage you just to take notes using the sermon note sheets and then fill in your own copy later on. The additional copies we have are for people who don't know Jesus yet, or for new people who are coming who need a copy when they come on a Sunday by Sunday basis. So it's thankful for that opportunity to be looking at that together on Sunday morning. Lee's going to tell you a little bit about how we're going to be using them in small groups for those small groups who are using pulpit curriculum through this series.
Yeah, so looking to build off Sunday mornings. Building some material for small groups, really to help us engage with and also equip us to share John's Gospel with those around us. So 5 key areas we're looking at: application, how does what we're hearing on the Sunday morning change our lives as a church? Apologetic, is there any apologetic issues or questions that arise from the text that would be helpful to engage with? Some of the things we might come across with those around us. Some appetite questions, looking at why it's worth following Jesus. Some pastoral questions. How does John's Gospel really speak into everyday life, things that people will be coming across: work, family, health, home. So looking at those things. And then finally, what we're calling apprentice questions. So really looking at how did Jesus do evangelism? How did he speak? How did he engage with people? And also then how he lived in front of them. So those are some of the key areas we hope will be helpful and engaging for us as we seek to share this with others.
Yeah, don't lose sight of the fact that it's also going to be a really helpful series to be inviting unsaved friends along to, non-Christian friends along to. We really want to be able to gather people round about the gospel and introduce them to Jesus really clearly, so you can meet them in whatever they're whatever their issues are in their mind about who he is, whatever brokenness they have in their lives, whatever it is they are searching for and finding disappointment in other areas of their life. We really believe this is going to be a really helpful series for all of that. Alongside that, we also just wanted to communicate a little bit with you around about some steps we want to take to be wise around about coronavirus as we're gathering together as a church family. We are not fearful, but we do want to be wise around about all of these things. And part of this is about caring for our immediate church family, particularly those who have medical conditions that might make them vulnerable to coronavirus, and also in terms of being helpful in the wider community as the society around about us tries to adapt and work to prevent the spread of the virus. So just some simple things. We do want to encourage you as you're coming together on Sunday. We love welcoming one another, and we want to do a great job with that. And that's a really important value of our church to get church life together. But we want to encourage you to replace handshakes and physical contact with a winning smile or maybe an air five. It doesn't really matter. We want people to feel welcome. We want them to be well greeted, but we also want to be wise in regards to how we go about that. So it's going to have some implications for even how we do stewarding, maybe keeping doors a little bit more open than they normally would do, maybe having less people stewarding just to remove the temptation to have that handshake. We've all seen the YouTube videos or the Facebook videos of people who are accidentally doing things they shouldn't be doing, even though they're announcing that people shouldn't be doing those things. We are also going to suspend for the immediate for just now anyway, the passing of offering bags and also the friendship registers with the connection cards in. We're not going to pass them hand to hand. If people have particular prayer needs, we'd encourage you to email elders@harvestglasgow.org. We'd still love to be able to pray for you on a weekly basis, and we'd also love to be able to connect anyone new around about the church. So please make sure if you bring someone along that you're introducing them to either one of us or one of the elders as well, just so we can make those really meaningful connections with people. In terms of the offering, Lee will be announcing on Sunday the way we're going to be gathering that. Obviously, the easiest way to do that is to start giving by automatic faithfulness. If you don't already do that, be doing that by bank transfer. If that's something you feel ready to do by way of a commitment to our family, we would always say anyway, we only ever budget on money we get by automatic faithfulness. So there's ways you can do that, but there will also be a mechanism for doing that on Sunday morning, which we'll let you know about. In terms of catering, we're going to the plan is as well to continue to serve tea and coffee, but not to serve food at this time until it seems wise to start that service up again, just from the point of view of making sure there's not hands coming into contact with food and not unduly exposing people to risk in regards to that kind of stuff. So those are some steps we're taking. We'd ask you in terms of your steps you're taking at home to just be thinking about that too. If you start to feel unwell with some of the symptoms that are associated with coronavirus, we just ask you to be wise round about that, to consider self-isolating at home. All the information you need for about how to find out about that is there on all the news agencies pretty regularly. It's on the web on the internet. So just be thinking about, if you start to feel unwell, maybe it's time to take a Sunday at home. If your family are in a situation where that it's wise for them to do that as well, think about how you could gather around God's word and worship together as a family. There's great blessing in that. And if you need help with that or suggestions in terms of potential resources round about that, please feel free to contact Leah or myself or any one of the elders. It's really our first name at harvestglasgow.church or harvestglasgow.org, and we'll try our best to get resources to you and suggest a suggested approach to all of that. We really want to be as helpful as possible. If you have any questions about any of these things, please feel free to contact any one of us. You are loved.